The productized service. How to package your expertise into a fixed price, fixed scope offer. Turn your custom, one-off work into a repeatable offer you can sell without renegotiating every time. Every service creator hits the same wall. You're good at something. Editing resumes, auditing TikTok accounts, building Notion dashboards, writing cold email sequences, and the demand is real. But every inquiry starts the same painful way. A scoping call, a custom quote, a back and forth about deliverables, and a price you're half guessing because every client's version of the job is slightly different. You're not running a business at that point. You're running a negotiation forever. The fix isn't to work harder or raise your day rate. It's to stop selling your time and start selling a product, a productized service. One deliverable, one price, one turnaround, delivered the same way every single time. Why? It depends is the enemy of scale. If your pricing answer starts with, "It depends," you've built a service that can't scale past your own calendar. Every custom quote costs you an unpaid hour of back and forth before you've even started the paid work. Multiply that by 10 inquiries a month, and you've got a part-time unpaid job just quoting jobs. Worse, inconsistent scope means inconsistent quality. One client gets 3 rounds of revisions because they asked nicely. Another gets one because you're burned out by Friday. A productized service kills all of that in one move. You decide once exactly what's included, exactly what it costs, and exactly how long it takes. Then you never decide again. The anatomy of a productized service. Think of it as the missing middle between fully custom one-to-one coaching and a pure hands-off digital download. It has a human doing real work, but the work is scoped so tightly that it behaves like a product on the shelf. 4 things have to be locked before you sell a single unit. Notice what's missing: a discovery call. If your offer needs a 30-minute call before every purchase just to figure out what someone needs, it isn't productized yet. It's still bespoke, wearing a product's clothes. The intake form does the job the call used to do, except it doesn't cost you 30 minutes per lead, including the leads who never actually book. Name it like a product, not a favor. "I'll help with your resume" is a favor. The 48-hour resume rewrite is a product with a name, a promise, and a price tag. Naming forces the scope decision you've been avoiding. You can't call something the 48-hour rewrite and then let a client's revisions drag into week 2. The name becomes the contract. It's also what makes the offer referable. A friend can say, "Get the 48-hour resume rewrite from her," in one sentence, which is exactly how word of mouth is supposed to work. The scope test. If you can't finish the sentence, the client receives exactly by with real nouns and a real date. Your offer isn't ready to sell yet. It's still a conversation waiting to happen. Pricing it so it protects your hours. Price the deliverable, not the hours it happens to take you. If a logo package genuinely takes you 3 hours once you've done the process 20 times, that doesn't mean it's worth 3 hours of pay. It's worth what a founder would pay to skip weeks of DIY fumbling and get something usable by Friday. A common trap is anchoring your flat price to your slowest day ever, which makes you underprice the offer once you're fast at it. Price for the value of the outcome, then let your own growing efficiency become your margin, not the client's discount. Start with a price you'd be happy to deliver at 3 a.m. with 0 complaints. That's your floor. Build in 1 revision round explicitly. So, can you also just? Has a clear stopping point, cap volume, not price. Sell 5 slots a week at full price, rather than unlimited slots at a discount. Review pricing every 90 days as demand data comes in, not every time someone asks for a deal. Selling it without turning back into a coaching call. The entire point of productizing is to remove yourself from the sales conversation, so the checkout has to do the selling. This is where a lot of service providers quietly undo their own work. They build a beautiful fixed price offer, then still ask people to book a call to get started. That call is the negotiation sneaking back in through the side door. Instead, treat the offer exactly like a digital product. One page, one price, one buy button. On store.fan, that means listing it the same way you'd list an ebook or a template pack. A clear description, a flat price, a checkout that captures the intake details you actually need through custom fields, and instant automatic delivery of next steps once payment clears. No scheduling tool, no back and forth in your DMs before someone can pay. This matters more than it sounds like it does. Every extra step between "I want this" and "I paid for this" is a chance for the buyer to close the tab and forget. A single link you can drop in a bio, a caption, or a DM reply, pointing straight to a page where someone can pay immediately, converts warm interest before it cools. If you haven't set that up yet, you can create your store and have the offer live in the time it takes to write the product description. Name the offer like a product, not branding help. The 48-hour brand refresh. Write the deliverable as a specific, countable list of what the client receives. Set one flat price, no ranges, no starting at. Commit to a turnaround in business days and build in real buffer. Build an intake form that replaces the discovery call. Cap revisions explicitly, usually one round. List it for sale with instant checkout. No call required to buy. Set a weekly capacity limit so demand doesn't blow past your turnaround promise. You don't scale a service by working more hours. You scale it by making the same hour repeatable enough to sell twice without redoing the thinking. Protecting turnaround as you get busier. The fastest way to kill a productized service is to let success blow up your turnaround promise. 10 orders in a week feels great until client 3 is waiting on a promise you made to client 1. The fix is capacity, not chaos. Decide how many units you can deliver per week at your stated turnaround and stop selling once you hit that number. A simple "next batch opens Monday" message protects both your reputation and your sleep. This is also where a discount code or a small waitlist bonus earns its keep, moving interested buyers to the next open slot instead of losing them entirely. And because everything's flowing through one storefront, your customer list is already sitting there when a new batch opens, ready for a quick broadcast email instead of a scramble. When to add a second tier and when not to. Once your core offer is selling consistently, resist the urge to make it customizable again. That's the old trap wearing a new outfit. Instead, add a second, entirely separate fixed offer above it. Same rules, bigger scope, higher price. The 48-hour brand refresh becomes a ladder with the 5-day full brand system next to it. Not a version of the first offer with optional add-ons bolted on mid-checkout. 2 fixed products are simpler for a buyer to choose between than one flexible product with a menu of extras. Flexibility looks generous, but it's actually friction, because now the buyer has to make decisions you used to make for them. This is where it's worth studying how a full storefront actually gets laid out end to end. A live example store shows several distinct offers sitting side by side without turning into a confusing menu. Which is the balance you're aiming for? The creators who make service income predictable aren't the ones who work the longest hours. They're the ones who stopped reinventing the job every time someone new showed up. Name the offer, fix the scope, fix the price, fix the turnaround, and let a real storefront do the selling and the delivering while you do the work you're actually good at. If you want more on turning expertise into repeatable income, the blog has plenty more. And if anything about setup trips you up, you can always contact support directly. Key takeaways. A productized service has 3 fixed pillars: scope, price, and turnaround. None of them move per client. The goal isn't to shrink your value, it's to remove the negotiation so you can sell it like a product. Naming and packaging the offer, not just doing the work, is what makes it repeatable and referable. Fixed scope, only works with a fixed intake process. That's what protects your delivery time. You can sell it the same way you'd sell a course or ebook. One link, instant checkout, no calls required. Start your creator store free at store.fan.